How to open an Etsy shop in 2018. Should I start a new shop? Hey, it's Pam Duthie and it's a Monday, so it must be another Etsy tips video. If you're looking to craft your career with creative marketing advice, especially for the small Etsy seller, I make videos like this every Monday, so don't forget, come back every Monday. So it's a new year, and at this time people are always looking to start new things. But lots of people are always asking, is it too late in 2018 to start a new Etsy shop? Is there far too much competition? Is it just too hard to grow now? And my answer is no, it is very much not too late to start an Etsy shop just now. Is it hard to grow? Sure, it always has been, but if you follow the simple SEO tips and advice, it is more than possible to grow your shop. And what about all that competition? One simple thing that people fail to recognise is actually Etsy sellers are far more likely to be Etsy buyers. So the more shops that open up is actually a good thing, because this is a market already here who love handmade items and want to buy handmade items as gifts. So Etsy getting bigger is a fantastic thing. And also year on year, the number of new buyers that come to the site is increasing. So yes, there's more people selling on Etsy, but there's more people hearing about it. So it's more than possible to find a good market for your products on Etsy in 2018. Is there an advantage to being an established shop on Etsy? Yes, it is a little bit easier if you've built up a reputation, you already have a following of people who like your products, you have reviews, you've made sales, you have a history of sales on the site, and also you have an idea of what people like. Of course that's going to be a bonus, but the good news is if you start today, this time next year your shop will be a year old. So if you procrastinate and worry that it's too late to open a shop when you could have opened the shop today, then in 6 months' time, it's going to be 6 months later. So just get on with it, do it just now. Because what do you have to lose? At the worst, you have your 20 cents listing. Often Etsy are giving away free listings, so you don't even have 20 cents to lose. So the worst that can happen is you don't make any sales. And if you don't open a shop today, you're not going to make any sales anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But you've got to ask yourself, why do you want to open an Etsy shop? If you're a crafty person and you just want an outlet to be able to sell what you're making so that you get a little bit of pocket money and get to clear out your craft room a little bit, then there is no reason in the world at all not to open a shop. That is more than possible, go for it. But you have to be realistic about what your goals and what you want out of the shop. If you desperately need to make a massive income, then it's likely that there are better ways that you could make money. The majority of Etsy sellers will tell you that it's unlikely for the first year to 5-10 years, you're unlikely to be making the minimum wage. You're not going to be making big money unless you're really lucky. A few people do it. So honestly, say you've lost your job and you're desperately in need of some money now, then I would look at different ways of making money for the minute and possibly do your Etsy shop on the side so you can build that up, and then hopefully in the future it'll be able to make you your living. But you're possibly expecting a little bit too much to be able to get a decent living right away off of Etsy. And the other side of the boat, if you're wanting a reasonable wage but you don't have a lot of time to put into it, it does take hard work to get a shop building. How I see it, this is you're pushing the snowball up the hill. The work you put in today, this week, this month, this year is going to pay off in 5-10 years time. You're not necessarily going to see a return on your time investment right now. So if you don't have that time to spare, then think of possibly doing something else as your main source of revenue, as your main push, and just have Etsy as a side project, and then hopefully when you have the more time you can come back and put more energy into it. So if you figured out that your expectations are realistic for starting an Etsy shop, then all that's stopping you is your excuses. You're not ready to open the shop, you don't have enough stock, you don't know how to do all these things. Well, the simple thing is, if you wait for that, you're never going to be ready. Yes, it's nice to have a little bit of stock to get going. Maybe 4 or 5 items would be enough, depending on how long it takes to make everything. But it's much better to make a start and start learning and start improving than it is to have everything perfect and not start for another year. My shop was terrible to start with. My items were not great, my photography was terrible, terrible, my understanding of marketing was absolutely rubbish, but I learnt little by little. And just the same with YouTube, I might not be the most professional in the world already, but if you look at my old videos, initially I started doing tutorials, and you can see in my old videos I'm sitting reading off my script. How unprofessional. And then I had to learn about camera angles and lighting and everything. So things look better today, and next year they're going to be even better. And just exactly the same with your Etsy shop and my Etsy shop. If with each listing you try and improve something just a little bit better, if you try and get a little better at your shop, then lots of little changes make up to a big chunk of perfection. So don't stress yourself thinking that you're not perfect just now. You're not going to be. Just get started and get better. You can do this. There is no better time than now to get started with anything. And the really good news is you can grow along with me, or rather my mum. As I'm going to talk about in future videos, we decided this year to start a new shop for her, to give real first-hand experience of what it's like to grow in 2018. So you can follow along with us and see how we're growing and all the trials and tribulations, and see realistic growth, because in reality we're not expecting to make sales for weeks or possibly even months yet, but we're going to learn about what works, what keywords, and how to get ranking for totally different items than what we're used to. So don't forget, click on my wee face to subscribe and find out what we're up to. Come back every Monday, and thank you so much for joining me.